Hi, East Fifth Avenue. It's Katie over at Paradigm. I am going to walk you through how we set up an affiliate to mail. So this might be a little bit more info than you need, but I'm just going to go from the beginning. We're also right now in Cake, but we will be moving over to Link Trust in the next month or so. So once I understand how to set up everything in Link Trust, I can obviously do another recording and send it over. But right now we're still living in Cake. So let's say an affiliate, so it's an active campaign. An affiliate has already said like, hey, I'm interested in running SDR blockchain too. So the first thing I would do is go into Iris, which is a proprietary system through Agora. And I would just go ahead. I know Brian is actively running it. So I would just go ahead and let me make sure I'm running the right too. Okay. So I would go ahead and I would copy. So what I can do is go into here and I'm going to essentially copy his effort. So I'm going to copy the effort. I'm not copying the multivariate code. He's going to have a separate one. So I'm going to say no. I will copy the lift note, the subject line. Now, this really does not matter because I've already imported the creatives into Cake and not using through Iris. Well, through Iris, but either way, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to say yes. And let's say Joel at BioTrust wants to run. So scheduled date, I'm just going to say is not, what is today? That is not today. Today is June 8th. And, sorry, today is not. Today is the 7th. Okay. And schedule time doesn't really matter. It's a non-Agora list website. AWN is the pub. It's a dedicated email. I'm going to change this to BioTrust. And it's going to be Cake because it's going into Cake. This can all stay blank. This obviously came over. Lift note is going to stay the same. Sometimes this can be blank and that's okay because they're getting the lift notes from Cake anyway. The tree, we want to make sure that it's the right tree, which it is. We want to make sure that this is green with the check mark, which that is. Campaign, we can leave blank. SDR blockchain, same thing. It's an external email. UX is always external. This really does not matter because we don't do accounting through Iris, but I always, I do put the CPA in, which for this is 230. It's a CPA. Payout doesn't matter, but I'll put in 30 days. Just a habit I'm into. Batch or gross doesn't matter again because we're not paying out. Invoice required doesn't matter because we're not paying out. Host code is always important so that Gym Records can get credit, and it's always going to be at 50%. Now, the domain codes we've changed, so we need to update that, and it can be a Paradigm. So we'll do Paradigm Press pub info, I believe is what we can do. And then we will create. We can leave this blank. Well, we can put a note in here just saying it's SDR blockchain 2 for BioTrust. Right, that's what we did it for. Yep, okay. And create. So now it's been successfully created. Go into my queue to create a promo code. Create promo code. Promo code will be created. Crap, I didn't do this on another screen, so then I have to go back into Iris. And we'll look up search. It'll be item, AWN. And we'll look at media, and it's BioTrust. And we'll apply. Hopefully it's the first one. Okay. So we'll look here at all the details. So I have created a master spreadsheet, and one thing I want to do is make something that's way more effective, but for right now, this works. So you can see these are everyone who is running SDR blockchain too. So I would add, so BioTrust is already in there. But let's say he wasn't. So I would add his name. I would put the promo. I would go ahead and put the promo code that we created, which would be here. And then the iris effort, which is down below. The MV code is all that. So the MV code, this is the iris effort, and this is the MV code. So I didn't realize that he was already set up, which means he's going to be set up in Cake, but that's okay. He just never ran it. So that's what I would do. So I put that all on my spreadsheet, and that's all going to be helpful for me when I go into Cake. So I go over here into Cake, and I'm going to use all of that information from the spreadsheet to load. So let's do, so what I'll do is I'm going to have to just delete the campaign, which is fine because he's not going to run it. So for Joel, I would go into campaigns. So I go into his card and I click on him, and I would go into campaign since he does not have SDR, not to be confused with the original. He does not have SDR2. I would add campaign. And I would go in and I would go to site and I would go to SDR blockchain 2, which is down here, because keep in mind, I've already added this whole campaign into Cake. Media type is email, always. Payout is $230. Now, Joel is a referral, which means he gets 5% off, so that would be, whoops, so $230. So it would be, he would get $218.50, and the person that referred him would get 5% on this. So we're going to change it to active. I hope that's the right, let's see. 230. Okay, yep. So next. So now we have a campaign created. So I'm going to finish. And now it will pop up. So I will go back. The one thing I need right here is the multivariate code. When I test, if it doesn't test and convert, I know right away if it doesn't go to the promo and goes to like Agora Financial's just main website, I know that I haven't put in the multivariate code. That's one thing I learned early on. So I will go in here. I will copy the multivariate code. Well, I didn't update that, but let's copy the multivariate code from here. And we put this in here. Whoops, not that whole thing, just that. And save. Did a little note that's saved. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to test the campaign. So I'm going to take it, and by the way, I have to run through Safari because I have like a firewall or something up in Chrome. So that's why I keep switching back and forth. It's super annoying. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to go incognito. And you know what? Okay, it won't go because I have not set up I need to go into Google Analytics and tag. So let's see if I have saved Google Tag Manager. Yeah. Okay. So I have to go into Google Tag Manager. I need to go into All right, so here we go. I'm going to go into, gosh, this has been a while, tags. And I'm going to search for SDR blockchain 2, which is right here. And I'm going to look into the triggers, and I'm going to look in here. And right here is where I am going to add, which I'm not going to add onto here because I don't want to mess this up, but I would add the promo code, which you guessed it, comes from, which will also be on the sheet, but the promo code is up here, which would also be referenced on my, where is he? BioTrust, which would be referenced here, but that's the old one. But anyway, we'll put in the promo code. We would go, it would be dash, and then we would go and copy that promo code into here, which I said I'm not going to because I don't want to F up Google Tag Manager. And then you'd hit save, and you'd go all the way back through, and save again, and then you would come through, and I think there's a couple of different save buttons, and then you can write like a little note that you added BioTrust, and that would work. And then you would go into, let's see, actually, you know what? I am going to add that, because it won't SDR, because it won't test for me if I don't. Okay. And I can just go back in and delete it. So we're going to put this code in. And we're going to go here. And we're going to add. We're going to, and I'm going to just copy and paste. And then I'm going to save. And I'll get out of here. And then I'm going to submit, and I can just say SDR blockchain test, and I'm going to publish. We're going to wait, and once that is up to date, then we'll see that it's created. Okay, so let's, fingers crossed that this is going to work. So we're going to go back into an incognito page. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in here. And we're going to clear the cookies, put it on test. We're going to test this link. Okay. And we're going to go down and subscribe. And I'm not going to put my email in. I'm going to get to this page. And I can test all the way through. Okay, now here's where you cross your fingers and it works, and it did. So converted and all of that. So we're going to, I would go over to my spreadsheet and I would add onto my spreadsheet. Whoops, get out of this. I would go ahead and add on to my spreadsheet that yes, it was tested. Yes. Remember, this is a different promo code, but say all of it worked. Go back in here, and I would go back to his affiliate, so that tested. And then I would go ahead and I would